Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour on today, Thursday, August 12th. We're excited to be here. And before we get into our show, let's do some introductions. Earl, why don't you start us off?
Hi, everybody. I am Earl. I am the artificial intelligence that Brad and Chuck programmed to help be part of the Dev Advocacy Program. I was just implemented last week, and I'm excited to be here.
Andrew.
AI for making memes. My name is Andrew Aubrey-Dorr. I am a senior ServiceNow developer with a customer in Australia, and I'm a developer MVP. I've been working on the platform for about 5-ish years now, and I am also excited to be here.
All right, Chuck.
Hi, I'm Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Advocate. Not plural, like most table names should be. Been working with the system since 2008. I don't know what's gotten into this group. Earl, nice job.
Yeah, and my name is Brad Tilton. I'm also a Senior Developer Advocate who's been working with it since 2008, but I'm also singular. So with this show, we bring you some unpracticed live development, and we also do some drinking of beverages. So we're going to introduce those beverages in the same order.
So I am drinking a Doors to Nowhere by Modern Times. It is a Imperial Stout with cocoa, toasted almonds, vanilla, coconut, and coffee. So I'm excited. I've been saving this for a good occasion. I thought first live coding happy hour as an employee of ServiceNow would be a good time to do it.
Andrew.
Sounds like a breakfast beer. Speaking of breakfast, because it is 7:30 a.m. here, I have already finished my coffee because my kids were up early, so I've just got some branded water. However, depending on how hard Earl pushes, I do also have some scotch sitting by the side. So I'm not going to day drink unless the peer pressure really gets me.
That's awesome. I reached into the refrigerator and took whatever was up front. It's a Fugu grapefruit vodka soda. And my wife said, "Careful, that's from 2020.
Nice. At least you were warned. So I am continuing my non-alcoholic beer tour with a Carbach free and easy. So this is a local, local-ish. So yeah, today we are continuing our Rome series. We have lots of Rome content. We're doing Creator Toolbox on Tuesday mornings, live coding happy hour on Thursday afternoons. We're releasing blogs every week. On this Tuesday, we looked at playbooks. I think we all learned a lot. And so today we're going to look at IntegrationHub Imports, which is a really cool new feature in Rome. You can look at all of our Rome content by going to the blog or just looking through the YouTube channel. But we also have an index of all of our Rome content at devlink.sn/Rome-index. So yeah, lots of Rome content. And today we're going to focus on IntegrationHub Imports. And I think Chuck is going to lead us in this. So Chuck, why don't you tell us what we're going to be doing?
I am going to attempt to take an existing data stream and use it as the data source for an IntegrationHub import, do a little mapping, do a little transforming, put it in the target table, see what shows up. That's the idea. This is the next gen or new and improved version of data sources, import sets, transform maps, all that stuff that we've been doing since 2000. Well, I've been doing it since 2008. I don't know about the rest of you, but I think it goes a little further back than that. So nice to see a refresh, nice to see a modernization of this. And just a footnote that in Rome, I'll probably say this again during the demo, but in Rome, the data source currently supported is only a data stream. So data streams, if you're not aware, are a great way to do a REST API call, get back paginated information a page at a time, and you can just consume them. Usually it's in a for each loop in a flow, but you can also use them for traditional data sources and now for IntegrationHub imports. So it really doesn't matter how we're paginating on the back end, how big the page is, the records just get consumed till they're gone, but it's a lot more efficient on the ServiceNow instance. Instead of saying, hey, go get me 50,000 records and wait and possibly time out, and on the other system to say, I'll take 50, I'll take 50 more. Okay, I need 50 more. Okay, you've only got 13, great, we're done then. So it's just a lot more efficient on both ends. So I really love data sources. This was one of my favorite projects of the summer of 2020. I built about 6 of them for different applications, and it was a lot of fun just exploring the pagination, the way they go through. I think we did a data source on this show, did we not? I mean, a data stream.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Okay. If not, we'll get back to them. But that's sort of the basis. I did check to make sure my data stream is working, because previously it was not. It had no connection or credential it's API key driven, and there weren't no API key. So I got that in place just to make sure we don't stumble and fumble for the first 20 minutes going, I think it's over here. So we can definitely look at what makes up that data stream real quickly. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, somewhere around here I have a button that says share screen. Somewhere else I have a cursor that I can join up with that icon. And I am sharing desktop 2 today. Share, go. Thunderbirds are go. All right, so good old PDI. Nothing shocking and surprising there. And if I go to Flow Designer, let's go take a look at that data stream that I built a while ago. If I accidentally say data source, disregard that and just replace it with data stream, or take a drink.
I'll drink.
Earl had to have a way to do that. Okay, so
strong
executions. I have a YouTube spoke on this instance. My PDI is behaving a little slowly lately, so I didn't want executions, I wanted actions. And there is show matching, get playlist videos. That's what it is. I'm going to give it a playlist ID, and it's going to return me all of the videos in that playlist. And new feature in Rome, data stream actions require an IntegrationHub subscription for production use. Nice friendly messages that say, you can build it, but be aware. Okay, so that's something we added.
Somebody wrote a blog on that too.
Would that somebody that initials be Earl?
It's that bot you all created again.
All right, so my input on this particular data stream is going to be a playlist ID. I've got no pre-processing going in. And then in the request section, I said this is going to be a REST step. The pagination is all done with a token. Some pagination is done with a start and count, or start and a limit, or start and stop. There's different ways to do that, and you put in the logic of when should I continue. There's always a get next page variable that's available, and it says, okay, if I don't meet this condition, like the token is empty, then we don't go, or the limit has exceeded, or there is no next page. Then we do yeah.
Oh, sorry, show what's below the get next page token value there. If you hide your little data side panel.
Oh, you want the okay.
Yeah, because this was something when I was playing with it last week. If you hit
like
the little
here?
down arrow, I didn't know what the expression was.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So this says I want to get it. The token is going to be buried within the response body, and it's at the top level, so you can effectively dot walk. There's no real XPath-like thing in JSON So we sort of made up our own is how I understand it. And the notation is dollar represents root. And you will find the value of your token in the next page token property.
Yeah. I think my little side project that I was working on, I actually had to use a script to get the value of the next page token. I had to cut it out of something. So I created a new variable in here and used something from the response body that had a longer string, and then used script to parse that out and return it. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with that pagination setup.
Yes.
The expression section, it was a bit daunting at first because I had no idea where to start. I just looked at another example of a data stream that was in the platform.
And if you're building data streams, this is probably where you're going to spend most of your time, is just figuring out the pagination. When do I get a next page? What's the token? Why did it run away and into an infinite loop? Or why did I only get one record or one page? So it's the trickiest, but there are some great examples out there. The REST step looks like a pretty much a traditional REST step. I'm going to use a connection alias or my YouTube API key. That already has the connection URL in it, and I put in the resource path, a few query parameters, including my key, which comes from the credentials, the page token. Don't forget your headers, kids. I'm surprised I didn't put content type in here, but it's also in there. Then the splitter step is also where you're going to get into that tokenization notation. So I have an array of items. My stuff is all under root items. So similar to where is my page token? Where are my items? And they may or may not be at the root level. So pay close attention to that. Fortunately, YouTube made this pretty easy. Then we've got a script parser step, and I thought we could use the JSON parser in here now. I'd have to look. But this is just where you set up your output object. There's also an output state that says, look, if the script didn't parse, you can pass it a value of skip and it will pass up that record because your response body may not be exactly what you want, and you can catch that as well. Okay, so that is a data stream, and if we test this, we're going to need a clever playlist. So let me go to YouTube, and we will get the ServiceNow Dev Program. Say hi to Jared Latham. Playlists. Oh, how about the Learn JavaScript playlist? Just by clicking that, I've got a playlist in the URL.
Toot,
No drink for you.
toot, toot.
Toot toot for what?
You picked. You're very popular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's also maybe worth calling out that the outputs of a data stream action is just a single object. It's not an array. When I was doing it, my first thought was, well, I'm streaming data. I want to output an array of objects, but you actually only want to output one object, and the action is smart enough to make it a for each loop at the end.
Good point. Good point. That's very similar to what we did with the dynamic inputs too. Expecting a specifically named, I mean, we can look right here at the output patterns, and it's called output items. And interestingly, it is not an array, because see how these are in quotes, 0, 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Because we ran it as a test, there's only 20 of them, even though I know that playlist has more videos than that. And I'm just getting channel ID, title, and video ID at this point. I'm not going nuts with a whole bunch of YouTube details in this particular action. So
yeah, that was a little bit confusing to me as well. Only returns the first 20. You have to actually read that line before you start debugging why you only got 20.
And if I remember right, if it's a sizable payload, it may not even render that as the JSON that you saw. It may just, it's got some other way. It almost looks like an error message, but there's a property that says, hey, if the payload is bigger than whatever it is, 16K, you can change the system property to 64K or 100,000 or 1,000,000 so that it renders this way. Just a crazy little thing that I ran into as I was getting back fairly large payloads. I went, what happened to my test output? I can't even read it anymore. So I have that documented somewhere, and I'm sure it's probably in the documents I'm fairly confident it might sort of maybe be there. So that's data streams in a nutshell. Just wanted to go through and make sure that was still working. Thank
Can you
goodness.
just show us the output step, please? Just for.
Oh, yes. So the
Yeah.
outputs is just an object. You map the object type. Let me get to edit outputs. Video, in this case, is an object with the title, channel ID, and properties. You're creating an object for each record or each object that you're going to put out. It's not the array. It's not an array of objects. It's not an object of objects. This is a very simple exercise.
Yeah. And then in the script parser step, you don't actually reference the name of that object, do we?
No,
use
it is
target object.
called target object with property ID. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Just a few little things that I got caught up on when I was playing with it.
I don't know what I was trying to do here. I think I had an event that I wanted to see in the log, but I'm also logging apparently a lot of GS info steps for no apparent reason. But yeah, clean up your logs, kids. All right, so that is that. Let's go look at the new shiny toy. And this is IntegrationHub Imports. And in Rome, it is right under the IntegrationHub menu.
How many times are we going to say when in Rome?
I have not gravitated towards that for whatever reason. I don't know why. Yeah. I think that's the topic line for tonight's Phoenix developer meetup. I didn't title it. They want to see the Rome features. I let the meeting organizer do what the meeting organizer is going to do. So, nice clean design. Looks pretty familiar. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably now Experience.
Yeah,
Up here,
looks that way.
I believe
create
you're correct.
new integration. Okay, give it a name and a short description. Both are mandatory. So I'm going to call it LCHH YouTube. Actually, this was Learn JavaScript, wasn't it? I got lazy in my demo, but then pedantic in my follow through. Playlist videos. Can't type and talk at the same time either. Save and continue. Up comes this easy 3-step process. Step 1, pick your data source. And it says, here are the data streams you can choose from. There's mine. Ooh. Okay. Obviously, it reminds you that you need a subscription for production use. Playlist ID. Is it still in the copy paste buffer? No. Darn it. Let's go back here, copy it off the browser URL line, and away we go. Okay, so it knows what inputs are needed because it just went and did an introspection on the data stream. Saved successfully. I don't remember hitting save, but good for me. Let's save again. The properties simply brings up those. I would probably wager a paycheck that that's going to have more in future releases, but
yeah,
that's that. Save successfully. I wish these messages would go away by themselves. Hey, you know, it's nice to know, but you don't need to have it up there till Christmas, like my last year's Christmas lights. The it would also be nice that once you're done with a step, it would advance to the next one. But anyway, add target table. Where do we want to send these? I have a dummy table out here somewhere that I had called videos, I believe. It was either videos or CLSs or something. Yeah, no, that isn't it. It was, oh, I know. It was part of my vidX experiment that I was doing months and months ago to teach somebody. So I have a title, a date. We're not going to worry about the task. The video ID will parse out of here. And just for giggles, I made a response body field. And you can't natively get the response body out of here, so we're going to do something fun, and I think we're going to reverse engineer that. So this was the vidX. Come on. Now, honestly, how many feet there?
Oh.
Wow, that was a slow update. What is this table really called? CLS. This is where I'm going to start typing X underscore. There it is, right at the top. Must remember recent stuff. Okay, just like transform maps. We can run the business rules, or we have a choice now to run it synchronously or asynchronously. I don't know why you would need to run it synchronously, but there you have it, because most of the time these are going to be scheduled in the middle of the night. So the scheduler is running asynchronously anyway. I don't have any business rules, so I'm going to uncheck that. And by business rules, I'm going to make a strong assumption here that it is the same set of things that run with transform maps. It's not just business rules. It's legacy workflows. It's, what were the other ones? There's like 6 of them. SLAs? There were several things that run under that moniker of business rules. So be aware of that. It includes flows too.
So it's kind of like a set workflow false in a glide record.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's saved again. So now I have my table. I don't know what the point of having a list here is if you can't add another one. But anyway, we could check the properties on this. Again, I like exploring these menus. I haven't looked at these.
Mm-hmm.
Edit mapping. That apparently goes to the next step, because that's exactly what I was going to do. So I've got my object here, which is the output of the data stream, and I've got my target table. Now I can either do the easy thing and drag and drop data pills. Whoop! Except my font is a little large. Okay, you get the idea. Or, of course, I can use the data pill picker. The match for the legacy people is your coalesce. So setting one or more of these determines whether a record is input or updated. If you didn't have that and you ran this multiple times, you're going to get duplicates. Lots of duplicates. So let's take.
You could do some transform mapping to transform strings and transferring of the values.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Don't spoil it.
Because I want the date. You notice I did not have a date in the 3 things that I get back. I get back title, channel ID, and video ID. And I'm pretty sure, oh, that's not the playlist I wanted something with dates in it.
Live coding happy hour has dates in the title.
Live coding happy hour is notorious. The question is, are we consistent?
I think we're pretty consistent.
There's another confident statement. We are just, now where's the live coding happy hour playlist?
The last one.
Why is it the last one? It's our oldest playlist. Okay, so date is always at the end, right?
I mean, for the last year and a half, it has been.
Okay, so some of these records should work. Okay, let's take the date, the title. Data pill picker time. I'm tired of scrolling horizontally. Nobody likes horizontal scrolling. Let's go source, title, and what else did we miss? Response body, video. Oh, we could easily put together a response body by going title, bang bang, comma, video ID, pick, and channel ID, colon. You're like, Chuck, where's the data? The data is in the data pills. So we can put the cursor there between and say, give me the title. Put the cursor there between and say, give me the video ID. Put the cursor there between and say, give me the, oops, I said video ID twice. That would be a bad payload. Channel ID. Ta-da. So I can construct some fairly complex stuff. Now, save.
Now, just before we move forward, another little interesting quirk that I found when we put those data pills in the boxes there, I think specifically the video ID, the one that you dragged in, if you look really closely, I think it's got a space before it.
Oh, I think you're right. Ooh.
Yeah. And I think that's
not good. But title does not.
But you pick that with the data pill picker.
Oh, so drag and drop has an issue.
Yeah. So I found that when I was looking at some
that's how that got in there. Okay.
like
Tricky,
sysid-esque unique identifiers, and everything started with %20, and I was like, why is that the case?
Phil points out
Nasty.
that
Phil has another one.
we have a typo. There needs to be another,
Wait, am I missing quote somewhere?
yeah, after channel ID before the.
No, you put a colon out on channel ID inside the quote.
Inside the quote, yeah.
That's okay. It's not going to be used for anything. Okay.
Now you need another quote before the value, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
There we go.
Details.
Chuck is over that.
Okay, I'm so past the response body. Let's go to the date. I want to do some transforming to get that date out of the title. So
the title is always consistent. Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe always, as we know, YouTube always is.
Phil also says take a drink for bold statements like it's always right.
Okay, string. First thing I want to do is, I haven't done a regex replace.
Oh.
Are we brave enough to try that?
How long do we want to spend troubleshooting regex?
You know what? The fastest way I found to do things like this is you take a string as your sample string, right? I know I have too much there. Oh, don't watch these guys. They're
no. Who's that guy?
I don't know.
A lot of hair on that one.
And one of the things Dave Slusher imparted to me was the site rubular.com. I put my test string down here, get rid of that. So I have just that title, and I say, okay, I need the date out of here, which is going to be something with a 4-digit year. So \D4. That's not even close. This is a nice little test bench you can do.
There's one I use called regex 101, which is very similar.
Yep. 2 \D2 parenthesis. And my match group matched the date.
Wow.
So I know it will work for kind of one of them. So that, I'm not as bad at regex as I used to be.
Yeah, that's probably the fastest I've ever seen anyone do anything with regex.
No.
35 years, man. 35 years. Okay, so match regex. I don't know if this is going to work with the grouping though.
Because this is a regex replace, so it's looking
This is a
for one
regex
thing.
replace.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
so
not tokenizing.
I'm not tokenizing the first part, right?
Phil just said it's reg excellent.
Just send them all to the same date.
No,
Yeah.
that'd be boring. This is live coding happy hour. We have license to try things. So really what I want to, I don't know if it does groupings though. Replacement regex. There should be a helping here. No, there isn't.
We just grab the last 10 characters since we're always consistent with how we write the dates.
You could.
Always.
But I do want to try to make this regex thing work.
Yeah, I've never, this is all new territory for me too.
Is there a regex match rather than a regex replace function? Because replace, you're obviously looking at a string and you're going to cut out a piece of a string and put something else in.
Do we have any thoughts that this regex replace might be in the doc somewhere? IntegrationHub Imports. Join in a live coding happy hour as we read docs to you. Hub import. Well, the good news is this is in here. Rome. It better only be in Rome.
When in Rome.
Take a drink. And we have data pill. Data pills, data pills, data pills. 7. Let's go down to 7. Transform function icon. Button open. Blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah, I don't think we want to be looking at the docs on the IntegrationHub import. We want to look at transform functions.
You think so?
They're probably the same between flow and...
Another confidence statement. Probably.
They're not exactly the same.
No.
I think it's like a subset, and I don't remember seeing a regex one.
I don't either. We're going to find out.
Let's see.
Wow.
Okay. Regex. No.
If we're assuming that they're always the last thing, could we not do a
Replace.
on-
array split and then get last object in array?
We could. That wouldn't be any fun, though.
Oh, sorry. Here I am ruining the day with logic.
Well, you know, sometimes the simplest approach is the best. Occam's razor of programming. You know what? I'm willing to go with Andrew's approach because I really have no clue what it's trying to do here. We need guidance on this thing. Okay, delete that transform. We want. We can't do an array. We can do a replace.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, this is a subset.
yeah, okay. So what does trim give us if we are looking at maybe the last 10 characters?
Trim takes off the leading and ending blank spaces.
Ah,
Does it take any? If you click on trim, does it take a?
No.
Oh, yeah.
that's all it does.
It's all-
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I would expect it to do. Same as a trim function on a string.
Yeah. Regex replace.
Could we use a regular replace? No, because you gotta have a consistent string to
Yeah.
match.
What are the date and time functions that we've got there?
Those are
You probably already have to have a date or time.
yes. Well, you have a string in a. This is going to be the final thing we do is convert it to a date.
Yeah.
So we got to start with a string. I think we're locked into this one, guys.
All right. let's
Use,
go ahead.
use to replace the matched regex with values with a specific string.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in this case, it
Oh,
looks like you would be
okay.
matching your date and replacing it with something else.
Just
But
one
it
thing.
doesn't do grouping. Right. Okay. So what's the expression that says get me everything but the ending date is what we want, right?
Mm.
I know that-
Select all characters and then something like take the last 10 off, maybe.
Is it that? No. Is it that? No. Is it any word, any non-word? Hoping the chat will jump in soon and say any single character. No.
We did get an idea in the chat.
Mm. Sam Good has suggested a
Try
particular-
$2. So same expression, but use $2. If it does pattern matching, that's the thing.
Mm.
That's the thing. I thought I had like a 2-part series on tech now that does this. I'm not real confident, but hey, that's why we're here. We're going to test this out. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's assume, dangerous word as it is, that we have the date part, and now we can convert that to a date. And this is fun. I like this because they've got a date format. You can format it the way you want.
Oh, awesome.
Say read more, and it's not exactly your, what is it, ISO, whatever standard format, but
8601 according
But
to Phil Goes
also-
Deep.
you can also put in. He knows, Phil, you're scaring me with ISO numbers and RFCs. Don't. This is like people. This is like religious people quoting Bible verses. So saith ISO 8601, verse 12, chapter 2. Okay. The nice thing is you can also format this to have like prefix on something something at. So that's pretty cool. I think we want y dash double cap m dash dd is what I'm guessing. Oh, where's the actual data entry here? Was it capital Y or little y? Little y mm dash dd. Throw the holy water on it. We're getting religious again. Save it. And hey, what's the worst that happens? We end up with a bunch of blank dates. So we've made our transform. There is no scripting in here. So if you need to do that crazy scripty stuff, this is not meant to be a scripty thing. You're going to have to go back to traditional data sources transform maps. And then the last thing is schedule and import.
This bit's really cool.
This feels like AES in a way. So schedule data import name. We switched playlists and I didn't switch my name. Darn it. LCH playlist import. Daily, monthly, periodically. So we could say every 3 hours. This is pretty standard stuff if you've done this before.
I like that after parent runs, so you can kind of string them together.
I have used that in the past. Also for data exports too. If you've got like a table hierarchy, let's say you wanted to export your request items in your SC task table. You could do them one at a time, and you don't have to go, well, is it done yet? Should I wait 5 minutes? Should I wait 10 minutes? Yeah, you can daisy chain these things together. So
kind of defeats the race condition issues that you often get.
Yep. So let's say we're going to run this at midnight just for laughs. I don't necessarily need a concurrent import, although you could. I'm not going to tell you what concurrent imports are here. I think I covered that in the integration series, the 15 videos that are out there. And oh, newsflash, there's more coming. I've actually made progress on some of those. Now, you go, great, it's scheduled. So we're all going to sit around drinking till, no, we're not.
Till midnight.
That's
a lot earlier for me than it is for you.
There is an execute now. So let's go ahead. And down below we have executions. There currently aren't any. If you want to go to advanced setup, it brings you to an embedded UI16 form, which should look fairly familiar. Again, same kind of stuff in here.
So this is a, shall we say, front end to the back ends of standard data source executions and such?
Yes, except for it feels, I can't think of anything that is being done here that you couldn't do on the back end. So I guess I would answer yes.
So does that mean that we could jump into the back end and put the scripting in for the date, do you reckon? Or
if it's making a traditional transform map, let's find out.
Yeah.
Transform maps. Administration transform maps. Let's see. Is there a date updated? XNC training attendee. Nope. Nope. It did not make a traditional transform map. It stored it somewhere else. Interesting.
It's not, hang on, what's CLS task transform about? Or to 3 down?
That was made back in December.
Oh, okay.
Different project, sorry. So let's see,
worries.
did it make a data source? Yes.
Yeah.
And it thinks the format's CSV, unfortunately.
Oh, Lisa has just jumped in and said they're robust transform maps.
Okay, so first let's fix this before my OCD kicks in. CHH YouTube.
Now, robust transforms is not something that I've had the pleasure of.
I have. They're a little rough. You don't want them. There it is. Sure enough, it's a robust transform. Thank you, Lisa. And that's why they have multiple tables on that table list. It's not implemented yet because robust transforms give you the ability to take one data source and go to multiple target tables.
Right.
But apparently that's not done yet in the front end. Okay, so I am not going to get into this. It gets really deep, really fast. I spent probably 2 weeks researching it and going through demos and watching videos. And suffice it to say, this is really, really well done on the CMDB side. Because there's
a good place for it.
Beautiful page that walks you through very much like what we did, but it hides a lot of the complexity of this. But yes, you can dissect and digest this if you want. At this point, it looks like it's doing a very simple source table, target table, transform definition. Let's open that record. So there it is. We have our...
Lisa has just also commented, the engineer recommends to not dabble in the created transforms if possible, please.
I agree. I would not be poking around back here. Okay, so back over here, let's refresh our executions with the refresh button over here. And ta-da, we see EXE 1025. Context is EC. Scheduled import. Let's take a look. What did we get? What did we get? And you get this cool dashboard. I
Mhm.
think it's fun.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, the dashboard updates in real time. So when I was playing, I actually had a 3,500 line import, and I could watch it run through it in about 30
that is
seconds. It
nice.
was beautiful.
How often was it refreshing?
Seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like I could watch the number go up, go up, go up, and then it finished importing and it started transforming, and you watch the transforms go up, up, up. It was great.
So Brad, we got 54 records? That doesn't seem right.
It does not.
That doesn't seem right. That playlist only has 54 things in it?
No. It has
197 videos.
I
Does it
wonder
have
if
54 that are configured with the date at the end?
with the correct date. Yeah.
No, that wouldn't limit how many you imported though. That would.
Did
this
it
is-
error?
I don't see any
Well,
errors.
Scroll down,
Yeah.
and then under action execution history, we can actually have a look at the action execution for that particular import.
This guy?
Yeah.
Haven't played here yet.
And go open in operations view, and it should hopefully take us. Oh no. Okay.
Check the system property, com.snc process
that's
flow
right.
reporting level.
So assuming we've set that, then we can have a look at the execution of the action that happened to provide us with the imports.
I say we do set that.
Yeah. And while we're here, there's also a HTTP log level that we should set, so that you can actually see the incoming response bodies and outgoing headers and stuff of every single call that action is making.
What do you think, kids? Trace as deep as
Yeah,
possible. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty or fill up a log on a PDI. And the what was it? HTTP something something?
I don't know off the top of my head, but do a search for.
Maybe Phil remembers.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, there's only 16 of them. It might not even be defined yet. Glide dot.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Glide communications, glide outbound context, outbound.
I think it's
HTTP down,
No, I think it's 2 down from that.
log level override. Log
Yeah.
override level. Or a log. Oh boy, there's a similar one right below that. And it doesn't have any description. Bad property, bad property.
I want to say that the answer is all in caps.
Let's turn this one on too, just for fun. Outbound
Oh,
HTTP
yeah.
log
We
override.
want to override, and then the override level is all, I believe.
Come
I
on.
can feel a table's in records count growing right now.
No, I don't. Your database concerns me not. Okay, which one was it? Deep. Not
2 down, 2 down.
Override
That one.
level.
Yeah.
All he says.
Lisa has also put a little note in to remember to switch your scope back.
Scope schmope.
As per earlier, Lisa pointed out that if you accidentally switch scopes while doing this setup, you will pay for it later in heaps.
Scopes are getting as annoying as update sets.
No comment.
Chuck, you remember when you were worried we were going to get through this episode too quickly?
Well, if I just focused on what I had planned.
Well, that's before we started heading off the deep end with regex and docs.
with
We haven't even looked at our test data yet, so hang on. CLS, we should have a vidx CLS all there. And we got, and we wait, and while we're waiting, we'll switch our scope back. Cha-ching, we don't have any dates.
Hey.
Any, but we got 54 records. Everything else looks pretty cool. This one says over. Wait, these are the Java.
like-
Those aren't the
ones.
right
That's the
titles.
wrong playlist.
Yeah,
No
there
wonder
we
don't have any
go.
dates. How did that happen?
Can we
Did I
check
not?
if your playlist has 54?
I'm
I
sure it
bet it
does. I
does.
know that number because I lived it for 12 months.
There you go. At least something's working.
So did we pass it the wrong?
We put
Way
the
to
wrong.
stay optimistic, Earl. Something's working. We passed
Is
it
it
the
hard-
wrong ID.
Is it hard coded into the flow?
it wouldn't be the first time I've copied something and pasted the wrong thing. Like, for whatever reason, every once in a while you go, Command V. What? No. I'm surprised it didn't say whatever it said before, source or live code. Let's get rid of all these records. I know there's quicker ways to clean the table than that. Don't beat me up. We're going to go back to live code. Get this. I don't know if you can see that on my screen share or not, but copy. I hit it 3 effing times. Okay. Schedule imports.
Source configuration.
Source configuration.
There we
Yes.
go.
Properties.
Oh, no, it was...
No, it's just on the page, I think.
That's okay. I'm changing this too.
Ah,
I'm surprised this wasn't in. I changed it in the data source, so apparently this didn't pull forward. Okay. Data stream action inputs. That is a different ID. Surprise! Okay. This is all just to figure out if we even guessed closely to the regex. And it's still processing.
Should we drink for dead silences?
No kidding. Fill in with a joke. So a nun walks into the confessional.
Maybe give the page a refresh. This feels like
something went south, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's all those log statements it's trying to do.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything that warrants a log yet. Okay, now we have to go back and check that property.
It's because we changed scopes.
I changed it back.
Oh,
It doesn't
Lisa
have the right one. That's not the right one.
Lisa said it's calling the data source. How
Hey.
come it's calling the data source when we change the inputs? That seems
Yeah,
a
that,
bit
well,
odd.
because the data source knows when you go to a regular old-fashioned data source and you find this one, it's got the inputs somewhere. I can't remember where it is. There.
Right.
And this record is in the CLS 323 application. That's why. I thought I was in the vidX. Sorry.
No, yeah, you were in CLS.
I started this story somewhere else. So I could change it here.
that's-
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Just anger the engineer.
Okay, refresh. Unfortunately, just like Service Portal, this doesn't let you change scope in the middle of the story. So, do we want to try it here? Or should we just shortcut it on the back end?
Let's do it here.
Okay, sucker.
Right.
Hey, look at that!
There we
There we
go.
go.
Why don't you present a message saying you're in the wrong scope, stupid?
Learn JavaScript YouTube. It got successfully saved.
Yeah.
Yay.
So if you're in the wrong scope, it won't save.
Oh, it'd just make you wait and drink a lot.
I know. That's the worst kind of error. It just says a loading.
No errors, no output. Yeah, that's programmer's hell. Let's
Yeah, is
do
that-
this again.
That's why so many programmers drink a lot. So while you're doing that, can we jump into the execution context of that and see it running? Quick refresh, hit the little refresh button.
I'm not that fast. It's probably already done. There's only 194 of them.
Oh, top one, yep. Oh, they're all done.
We got the right number.
That looked right.
Okay, that looks right.
While we're there, do we want to see if our log statements let us look at things, or do we want to look at the data first?
Sure. Where you want to look at logs?
In the Integration Hub Studio, the import thingy.
Oh, there's a loggy thing in here.
Yeah, so under outbound HTTP requests.
Oh, right.
So you
that.
can see how many pages we have sent. So I think, 30 pages?
It says Googleepus. I don't know what a Googleepus is.
We jump into one of those. We can see the URL that we hit.
Yep.
Our log level change did work. It is set to all. So if we go to source,
We probably should have put privacy shrubbery on there. There was an API key in there somewhere.
what was that?
Yeah, it's good for read only though.
But yeah, in that page with the secrets, you can actually see the inbound, outbound headers, that sort of stuff.
Woo! Okay. So I'm going to knock that off. And I'm not confident in this moment of truth, but
Also,
I think it
if you-
definitely worked.
if
Yeah,
you
good.
refresh Integration Hub Studio, does the title of the top change to what you changed it to? Because it still said learn Java. Blake pointed out that the top of
Hmm.
Integration Hub Studio still says learn JavaScript.
I think
I
we were in the wrong
refresh the.
scope.
Oh,
I think we were in the wrong scope when he changed it.
oh,
No, I didn't change it in the properties. I changed it in the data source properties, the source configuration.
Well,
So
you
this-
you did change this, but it was when we were in the wrong scope. You changed this, and then you changed the
right.
whatever it said here.
And then you press save, and then we were like, hmm.
Okay, now it changed. Scope schmope. Oh, look at this! The date!
Wow.
I have to say, I'm honestly stunned.
Let's
This
see
is-
if those dates are correct. If you mouse over one of the titles,
This
to
isn't just
compare.
take a drink, this is take a
120
slam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Rarely am I shocked this much on this show.
Yeah, that's
Dollar
crazy,
two.
right?
It actually does grouped replacements. Who gave us that suggestion?
That was Sam.
Sam
gets
for
the
the
credit for
win.
that.
Wow.
The only reason we were successful.
Color me skeptical.
Yeah.
That was look at this. Even 18 months ago, we were still using the same format. I'm curious to know if there are any that are out of whack. Hold on. So let's sort this way. Yeah, we got
Yeah, there it
Wow.
is.
No, this doesn't look at private video. That's someone put in a European date.
Or an Australian date, like the proper date.
Yeah, not American date. A hackathon kickoff, that doesn't have a date.
Well, it's got
That
May
is,
1.
that is a text date. Oh, man.
I don't know who created that one.
No, but the beauty of this though is we could easily go to YouTube, update them to be more. Now that we have the list of the few of them, just go
Right.
update them in YouTube, and then this will grab them and update
Yeah.
them.
Rematch it because we were coalescing on the video ID, weren't we?
Yeah.
Not that that ever happens in consistent data. Never have I ever had a data source that had a inconsistent data or yeah.
Look at
Hey.
that. That's awesome.
Holy, so I'm honestly gobsmacked that this worked. I mean, not that I didn't trust the Integration Hub import piece, but just that regex expression made me
Mhm.
very skeptical. So let's take another look at that. It is worth a replay.
Take a good old gander at that beauty.
Yeah, this is a work of art now. And
Our,
really, we could be doing more. When I did my karaoke playlist, it just said Saturday Night Karaoke with the date of the same format, year, month, day. I went through 2 or 3 steps. Like I did this straight up replace to strip out Saturday Night Karaoke from nothing. I didn't know whether there was a dash in there, so I did another one that says, if you see a dash, take it out. And then I did a trim, and then I did a convert to date. So there were 4 steps in there. But this is just fan-freaking-tastic. This
Yes.
is so yes.
It's really cool. And this is-
Rubular helped. Oh, this
gonna
is
be-
interesting. Did it not flip these? Wasn't the regex on the match on top?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Is it
Someone in
smarter
the
than
UI
us?
team.
Is it smarter than us?
It knows that. It's like that is not what I would expect. This feels like a bug.
I mean,
Yeah, I'd say so.
it worked though. Don't click anything.
No.
Famous last programmer words. You put a comment on here. Don't touch this.
That's right.
I think it's time for the rating of the beers at this point.
Mhm.
Let me unshare. Where'd my little icon go? Unsharing. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom!
We're back.
We're back. All right.
That
Well,
was a lot of fun. A lot of
wow.
learning.
That was great. Well, success. So let's go ahead and rate our beers. Earl, I think we started with you.
So I know high ratings are supposed to be rare and only warranted, but I started off with a bang, and this is probably a 5 for me, and I would highly recommend.
Wow.
Ooh.
Put,
Is that
put
with-
coffee in anything for me, and I'd probably give it a 5.
Is that before the success factor, or is that just off the bat?
For success, for failures, it's all good.
Awesome.
We usually give a 1/4 point success factor.
Oh,
So you get a 5.25?
Break the
Oh.
scale.
yeah. I would. This is a great beer.
Awesome.
Out of bounds limitation. You get a big red error message at the top of your screen.
It's a 5. So we'll say 4.75 plus it.
Awesome.
All right, Andrew.
Andrew, how's your water slash?
My water was wet. It was great.
Nice.
What did I have? A vodka soda from Cutwater Spirits.
From
Ooh,
2020.
grapefruit. It wasn't as great. It felt more like a seltzer water kind of thing. I'm sure there's alcohol in there somewhere, but it felt really thin. I'm used to making like vodka sours, so maybe that's just it. That I've, in terms of 99 calories, full of spirit, I give this a 3. I'm afraid I might put a few of them down on a summer day. It's from 2020, so maybe it lost its flavor.
Or maybe it got better. You never know.
Maybe it's full of COVID. I don't know.
My Carbach free and easy non-alcoholic IPA. I'll give it about a 3.5. My cap is 4 for non-alcoholic beers, so I'll give it a 3.5. All right. Well, what do we have? Chuck, do we have a podcast coming up next week?
We do. We have a podcast with Daniel Drace talking about ATF, automated test framework. We go all over the place on this conversation. There's ATF, I think there's bike riding, we get to know Daniel. He's been around for a few years. So Wednesday, the 18th, I think it is. Wait,
Yep.
Yesterday was the,
That's right.
Yes, Wednesday, the 18th will be Breakpoint. The 31st, Tuesday the 31st is Tech Now on encryption. So Pierre will be joining us talking about the various encryption options. We certainly have a few of them. Which one's right for which scenario, and why would you use one over the other, and what? We're going to have that whole conversation. Well overdue. I've been chasing him down for about 2 years to try and get him to do a Tech Now on this, and now is finally the time. We're locked into that. I think next week on Creator Toolbox, Brad, is...
We've got Andrew Barnes coming in, and he's going to talk to us. I don't know if anybody remembers him, but he's going to come in and talk to us about source control and what's new in Rome. And then on Thursday, I believe Earl is leading us on Thursday
On Playbooks.
driving on Playbooks. Yeah.
He's going to have another special drink because it's his first one to actually host
man.
the Live Coding Happy Hour.
You have a week.
I'll figure it out.
So that's what's
All
coming
right.
down the pipe.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Andrew, for being here. And you all have a great rest of your day and weekend. So we will see you next week.
Take care,
Thanks a lot.
everyone. Stay safe.